that I'm allowed to do when it comes to this podcast. That is
I totally just took your job away. My bad. I'm sorry. My fault.
You're getting anxious because running late.
No. What's up, everybody? Boys are back. Well, one boy's back. The
One
other
half.
boy, one hog, will be here a little bit later. But we have the giant hog with us, and then the giant hog will join us afterwards. Hey, Heidi, what's up? Dude, I got absolutely nothing planned. I just want to chit chat. It was a crazy week for us. So, but how was I saw the Sevan interview. Amazing, bro.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, it went really well.
Did you have a great time?
Yeah, do you know it's the first time I've talked to him properly, like, actual long form.
Yeah. Not in reels.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, just talking absolute shit. And his mastery of interviewing was very apparent. And I obviously haven't watched it back, but at the time, here he is.
There we go.
Hey.
Big Yon, the big fellas here.
The bigger hog.
The bigger hog.
I don't know if it's bigger, but
he'll take the credit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, his mastery of saying the right questions, timing, making you feel like you've said something really important when you haven't. all nice things, fluffing. It's very clear in that situation. I don't think when you're watching it, I don't think that becomes apparent because it's just so normal. You watch it 3 times a week or whatever, and you get used to it. But when you're on the receiving end of it, he treats you gently and he makes you feel special.
The receiving end of Sevan. Yeah, he is gentle, isn't he?
Yeah, so that was nice.
I was asking you before, back behind the screen, you got the Rodecaster now, you got the mic, you got the headphones, all the fancy buttons. Have you been on his StreamYard yet?
Yes.
Crazy, right?
Compared to ours, yeah.
Yes, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, and the annoying thing was, I spent ages setting it all up on a different tab and saving it on bloody Chrome, and then I realized you just log into your own StreamYard, do a drop down, and then it's all there.
Yep.
So, and then I put a drop down, and then this whole new world appeared of like 70 million different things to click on. I was like, don't press delete. Just I haven't. Yeah. So.
Yeah, don't press delete.
No.
I didn't press add. Don't press delete. Don't press any of that shit.
Yeah.
Mood lighting, Jan?
Oh, I mean,
I love it.
I just haven't put on my normal light, so I can't turn it on.
Map lady here for Kermit the Hog. I don't know which one is Kermit, but I guess we'll find out in the next like hour and a half. It's fine.
I was trying to pull up a comment there and I realized I can't. I clicked on it like 3 times and I was like, oh, I can't fucking do it.
Just tell me which one you want. I know I should probably add one of you to ours so that you can do what you want when you're on
the one about does Jake get a fever when people talk about the Bible?
Oh.
Yeah. Who's that?
Oh, CJ's back. I don't think that's the real CJ, but that is fire. Does Jake get a fever when people talk about the Bible? I think
pretty sure that's Grant.
Oh, really?
I don't get a fever. I just shrivel up a little bit. That's all. It's just one of those topics that I've got no interest in talking about. It's the equivalent. So when and I really don't want to talk about it like long, but when
we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, like when as soon as it comes up, it's the equivalent of a Christian tuning into an Islamic discussion. It's exactly the same. And it's like everyone's beating on the same drum, saying that Alice said this, Alice said that. It's true. It's absolutely true. Da, 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 da. And you're there going, I'm here for the CrossFit. And, and I just sort of like hold back, and then people come after me, and then I just sort of say something and then disappear for half an hour and come back and then hope that it's finished, and it hasn't. So I just
Not this week. Not this week. Kenneth DeLab, Jake only gets a fever when people chew food near him. Fair.
Do you know, I had that earlier. My kids were eating at the table, and I do everything I can to be around when they're eating, because I think you need to be around, like, as a family when you're eating at the dinner table as much as you can, just share the experience. But I actually had to say to them, like, you've got no idea how much patience I'm exhibiting right now by not screaming and shouting at you for the sounds you're making.
Do you talk to them exactly that way? Are you so chill? And you do?
Yeah.
Do you ever yell? Do you ever like lose your shit?
No, I whistle now. So I'll just whistle. There's one pitch note that they know is currently the cue for them to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But in about a couple of months' time, they'll realize that it's worn off and I'll have to do something different. So it just changes.
That's when you start spraying them in the face with a water pistol when they do something.
Yeah.
That's summertime.
You turn around and you hide it behind your back.
Yeah. Where'd that come from? My uncle used to do something like that with me, but I was blindfolded.
Like on The Sound of Music, each kid has their own tune. Oh yeah, that's right. You are right. That did happen.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen Sound of Music?
No.
Oh,
I went
here, dude. You didn't see
in the
it.
theater, but I can't remember it.
Really?
But it's about dances, isn't it? Or something?
I can't remember it.
All right, never mind. Okay, two things, and we'll get into hogs. I'm sure my wife is really excited about that. But the other thing I wanted to ask you about is your podcast.
Yeah.
So now you're firing on all cylinders for your podcast. Jan, you're like the artistic engineer mastermind.
I don't know about mastermind, but it's
Jan,
going all right. It's going all right.
Does your brain blow up like my wife's when she's trying to make a thumbnail and like it's not the way that she wants it to be and she like loses it?
Honestly, no. Like, to be quite honest, I haven't put that much effort into the thumbnails just yet. I think I will. If I had more time, I would. But Jake will message and just be like, "Oh, we should put a thumbnail up," and then I'm like, "All right, cool, 2 minutes." And I normally just do them on my phone while I'm sitting in the toilet.
Okay, so
genuinely, but I do so much on Canva for my job that I just like I fire it out there. But we've been playing around with things. Heidi actually gave us some good feedback. That she does.
What'd she tell you?
She's not shy. She's not shy at giving feedback. So we're taking that on board. So we're not going to have the thumbnail as the background of the podcast anymore. So we're going to have a dedicated background for each of the podcasts. That's probably what I'm trying to make. What we're just going to keep because it's going to be there every episode.
Yeah.
So I haven't rushed that out yet. Yeah,
That's
she
fine.
did. Maybe. Yeah, and then we've obviously got the new logo as well.
I love that.
Yeah, new logo. You're right, Grant. New logo's fire. That's super fun.
So Heidi's never afraid to give feedback, and also never afraid to one up. So after Jon had made our really good logo, Heidi went away and made a couple herself. And one of them, she's made us look like a gay porno version of Jurassic Park.
Oh, is that comment? The Jurassic Park porno guys? ACR?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
I was going to get there, but all right, let's see. Let me see if I can bring this up.
We could send you them.
But yeah, going back to your question about Jon recruits everyone, so he knows everyone. He makes all the thumbnails. He books in the times. He schedules everything. And he talks to them and asks them the right questions. And at the moment, I don't exactly know what I'm asking. I just turn up. Zero talent.
with Chris's daughter, I definitely saw that one. That was awesome. And then the bodybuilder guy, I wasn't joking around. I really did want to know the posing thing because I've heard that's atrocious. The trying to figure out how to pose for bodybuilding.
By the way, I see them all in the gym every week, and that's probably, they exert so much energy just like posing.
Yeah.
How long do they have to? I haven't seen it. How long do they have to hold each pose for?
I have no idea.
It depends on which pose, but there's obviously the different muscle groups, and the judges call out. So you'll have a routine. So there's two different posing routines. There's the first day where they do most of the judging, where you come up with your own routine. There's a second routine where they'll call back out if they haven't seen any particular muscle groups or what they're looking for. They'll call you back out and they'll ask you to do certain poses. So you need to know all the poses before you come out on stage, and the names and what they're looking for. But
and then the best guys get called back on stage for like the pose down at the end, and they're like they're at the front of the stage, like fucking elbowing each other, trying to it is like proper, like they're not just standing on stage like being best buddies. Like if one person's doing that like front double by, the other person's trying to fucking elbow them and like put their like get out there. It's like, and then the likes of Jack, because he's classic, he goes on and does like a whole like routine with just him on the stage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's in the classic division?
He's big.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's like at like 260.
Damn.
Fucking
what is this, Gerald? I wonder if they ever get piles from posing so much. What does that mean? Is that
Giles, hemorrhoids.
Oh,
they're called piles.
Piles, yeah. We call them farmers. It's have you experienced Cockney rhyme slang at all? No. Okay. It's quite unique to London. That's why it's called Cockney rhyme slang. But it was basically a way for people on the street to be able to talk in front of the police and get away with it. So it's a bit of a code. Now, but it's so obvious. It's most of the words now. If I said apples, it'd be like, oh, she's up the apples. It would be apples and pears, which is stairs. So you just say the first word of the phrase, and that's what you imply. So a whistle is a whistle and flute, which is a suit. So you know, putting on a jazzy whistle tonight. So it'd be a whistle and flute suit. And farmers is Farmer Giles, which is piles. So
okay.
I'm just off for a Henry III.
Yeah.
Third.
Matt Blady, Jan, Jake, would you rather get railed by a male IFBB pro or watch Sevan talk about religion for the rest of your life?
What division is he in?
Like, is it just during the Sevan podcast time that we have to listen to that, or is it like for the rest of your life that's all you can hear?
And do you want to
just like put it on repeat?
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, is that I can't hear anything else for the rest of my life? I'd take the Babbin.
All right, so we'll go with Barry McCockiner. It's
easy. I take the Babbin.
Any day of the week. Every day of the week.
If it was just when I tuned into the podcast, I'll listen to religion.
I know what C-bomb looks like, so I'm in my mind. I'm just like, Jesus.
I take it. C-bomb. That's you're being generous there. He's a handsome man.
Yeah. Oh shit. I forgot what my other question is. So I was gonna ask you about. Oh no, I can't go into that from here. All right, go ahead. Let's go. How many of you? Jake being back on the internet is like being back on Instagram should just be. It's like the best for Instagram, not the best for my inbox. So I have like.
Did you get that one I sent earlier?
I just have to switch Instagrams, but yeah, I'll go over to your collection because you haven't.
It's funny because we both send them from the podcast page, so you just don't know.
I don't know who it is. Yeah,
coming from
that could be a game.
Who
sent it?
Call. That's fair.
That's
fair.
Yes.
Should we tell everybody who you invited on the podcast?
I nearly shit myself the other day. Right, so. I was it the other night? Was it at night time? I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
when I started doing that. I had a, you know, when you have like a real boost of confidence for absolutely no reason. I don't know
Yes.
what happened.
Yes, my
Right.
wife
So,
gets that at a yes, she does.
so I went on Instagram and I went, fuck it. I'm inviting everyone on the show that I want. And I invited all the top celebrities that I've like and admire.
Ever wanted? Yeah.
Yeah. And I messaged and DM'd Henry Carville, right?
Oh shit.
And
That's
then
the dude from Tudors, babe. He played Henry VIII's right hand
Yes,
man in
yeah,
Tudors.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I messaged him, and then I talked to Jon, and I told him that I'd messaged Henry Carville, right? And then about 5 minutes later, my phone dinged up on Instagram, and it said Henry Carville along the top. And I went, "Oh my god, he's replied. He's coming on the show." And I started thinking about what we could do, what we could talk about on the show with him. And it was just Jon, like hearting the fucking comment that I sent about Henry Carville. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I knew that he would get that notification.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
So your heart stopped beating for like 5 minutes for you to open this thing, and then like it's gone.
Text me saying, "Fuck you, I just shit myself."
That's a good friend right there. Yep.
Oh shit. What do you want? You want this Ultimate Warrior one? Is that what you're?
I mean, yeah, we could listen to the Ultimate Warrior. I'm always down for Ultimate Warrior. Like I used to. Do you know what? I used to have a T-shirt of his, like, and I used to wear it before I used to go for 1RMs. It's just so. And I think Chris will like Ultimate Warrior.
He said gay.
I loved him too. Yeah, Chris, gay. Fair.
I can't decide if I preferred Ultimate Warrior or Hogan as my like favorite of that generation. It was
Mine was definitely Ultimate Warrior. Every time the music came on, I would lose my mind.
When he runs down the thing.
Yeah.
I think as a child, mine was Hogan, but as an adult, I'm like, oh, I go more Ultimate Warrior. Same with like Ric Flair. Now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, Ric Flair's the fucking man.
Yeah, but Ultimate Warrior was the shittier wrestler, though. Like,
Yeah,
would you agree on that?
Wrestler.
He was the least. Like Bret the Hitman Hart was one of the better ones.
He was the fucking best.
The Bulldog, British Bulldog. He was fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you? A couple of those comments about Kenneth has said about. Did you watch that series that he did? When it's like probably 2005-ish. He did this series where he took a load of teenagers and he was training them in the gym.
Oh yeah.
As himself, not as the character Ultimate Warrior, but as Warrior. I think he changed his name legally.
Yeah.
It was as him, and he's just fucking mental, and he's drilling these teenagers about being shit, and it's brilliant.
He's nuts. He was definitely nuts, and he became his character. He wasn't even himself anymore. He just became his character.
Yeah.
Sting was great too. Snap into a Slim Jim. Yep, I remember that shit. He was the best as an Intercontinental champ. Yeah, Pat, you're right. As soon as they tried to make him the face of it, then it wasn't great.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. What did you send me? And I'm already gonna go with Jake sent me the shit.
Have earthquake insurance.
Yes, I need not earthquake insurance. I need not health insurance. I will never need life insurance. For the warriors all know the life that flows in their body is not that of the normals. Tomorrow in these bones.
What are you sending? Why are we talking about life insurance on this shit? Wasn't he not good at promos? He was not good at promos.
No. He would literally do a line or two before they were counting down 10 seconds to record, and he would be taking coke, and he would go right straight into it like that.
Like,
and they didn't. My thoughts on all this. Imagine that on telly now.
I don't know why, but I did think I was a warrior. Like, he made you want to be an actual warrior at that point.
Yeah.
It shows.
Imagine that on telly now.
No.
And also, I think he'd make a really good politician.
Didn't he try?
Surely.
I think he tried.
Jesse Ventura wasn't he like governor?
Yeah, Jesse Ventura was. Yeah, he was a governor.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Warrior tried. He was super conservative and he did like these crazy, like he went to these speaking events and did these crazy conservative speeches, and they were just like way over to the top to the point where people were like, dude, fucking too much.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesse
Fair
was Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah. That hair is fly. That was, hey, listen, that was the 90s, baby.
I make you a
Jake
sexual
Ventura lives in, like,
tyrannosaurus.
Does he not
What
live in
happened?
like Cuba or something now?
Who?
Jesse Ventura.
Oh, I don't know where he is anymore.
I think so. I
No.
don't think
He was
in
in-
the States.
I know he's in Predator and has one of the best lines sat in that helicopter.
Oh, really?
He said they're talking about tobacco, the stuff in the thing, and he says this shit will make you a sexual tyrannosaurus. That's fucking brilliant. Such a good line.
Oh my god.
Fucking fire start.
All right. So you want to guess, babe? We'll go. Is this Jake or is this Jan?
Oh, sorry. I was looking up to answer your question.
Oh, to see where Jesse Ventura is. I don't know.
I have not sent that many this time. I don't think.
Well, let's go, Jake.
This is Jake's.
Is that how you picked up your wife? How did you ask her on your first date? And also, how did that first date go when you took her on the first date? Like, what?
Good. I love shit like that. I rekindled my love for this one account. It's this Italian guy. He's like a chef.
no.
But he does. No, we won't bring it up. But I'll send you it. You can just watch it.
That's an acquired taste.
It's really
Oh,
dark.
jeez.
Really dark. Like really, really dark. And he'll like break out. It'll be like never gonna give you up, like playing, and he's like cooking. And then it will slow down and there'll be like a monster stood behind him. It's like Pan's Labyrinth. And then it will just go back to normal as if it never happened. And it's real dark. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Kenneth Ventura fled to Mexico after his failed independent presidential campaign. Yeah, I remember that too.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
What else you got?
I've sent you.
Dude,
I've sent you funny ones.
I'll keep scrolling. Don't worry. We got time for this. This is inside. Are we sure that we should be like playing all these, Jake? Aren't you supposed to be a professional podcaster now? Or you're not supposed to be
I've
engaging?
explained to Savon I'm being me. And he quite rightly said, that's fine. Do what's best.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Yeah, here we go. This is brilliant. This is amazing.
Yo, the flexibility in that guy's back is insane.
It's so good.
Like Michael Ben and Page. John is not laughing. Sorry, buddy. I was looking somewhere else.
That's like
I like
some
that Barry
Matrix
picked up
shit.
on that.
Oh, good.
I think I just laughed every time you heard the sound
Sound
of the glove. See, that's why I can't be on screen because my face will get super red.
His reach was
Woo.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Good, isn't it?
That's fire. Oh shit, have I not been using this the whole? Oh my god, dumbass.
What?
There we go.
Hello.
Oh,
I haven't been using that the entire fucking time. I forgot to put it on. Oh well. No, that was great. That was so good.
oh my gosh. How many people do you think saw that video and then redid it themselves?
Do you know
Oh,
what really
probably.
annoys me? That stuff. Like like when you see something, and that's the whole point in a meme, I guess, isn't it? It's the replication in
Yeah.
different form. You know,
Whatever's
evolution.
trending, the music, the whatever. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the point.
Uh,
But when it's people clearly trying to pass it off as their own shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks unoriginal. It's like, oh, like I don't like that kind of stuff. But that kind of shit, like that's great. Love it.
Nobody can replicate that guy's hip action. That guy's hip action was fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
that was like my man was getting it.
Yeah. Good.
What am I missing? Nothing. Jan is not laughing.
I laughed at
That was funny. What is it?
Where's Jon going tomorrow?
Oh, I've got.
If it was over text with Sevon, it would have been.
Hi, Sev.
Oh, Sev's here. Hi, dude. Oh, cool. Garrett has foreign guests.
Open-minded.
Jake brings in all the.
Sev,
all the
don't
eyes.
watch this next part. I don't want you to see this next clip because I don't want you to have any weird thoughts in your brain at all, ever.
Who?
What
Me?
one are we bringing up?
I know how you feel about this, and I'm gonna go with with Jan sent me this because just feels like a
Okay.
Jan.
Must be gay then.
Yep, pretty much. Here we go.
Yeah,
No.
no, Jake said this. Because Jake is fascinated by this guy.
I am absolutely
noticed he's been
obsessed with this
sending it to
bloke.
Debbie as well off our Instagram account as well. I noticed
Oh my god. The fuck,
His
bro?
account. I've been through every single post of his, just trying to find a picture where it isn't like that, and everyone is.
All right,
It's
I'm gonna play this so I can get it off my fucking screen at this
Thank
point.
you.
How come you
Thank
never
you.
send me white?
100 people. have said it.
Don't deny what you feel.
Okay, now.
Calm down with the music.
Jeremy wishes that was him.
Oh god. Does he really have to wear that on stage? Okay, you
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
I'm good. That's great. Why are
Good
you
job.
obsessed with him now? It is gay. Very gay.
Hi, Jet. Wrong time. Jet.
Yeah,
Just-
wrong. Yeah, sorry, Jethro. No,
Jake just
100
appreciates the
people
male
have
form.
sent this to me.
No, I sent it 100 times to you. That's the difference.
No, dude. That's is that a grower or a shower? Oh, God.
That might be
There you
both.
go.
That might be
It could-
both.
it could be
Yeah.
both.
If that's both, that's insane. What? How?
Do you know what though? Our shared algorithm, Jon's and mine.
It's
It's
calmer than my
fucking.
own.
It
I
is
could go-
mad. It's such a like mixture of weird shit. It's brilliant.
I'm checking it right now.
That's got to be
Yeah.
like too much. That's got to be a special woman that's married to that man that sleeps with
man.
that man
Or
or a
man.
man. That's got to touch like the inside of your diaphragm at that point.
Yeah, his handle, if you look, is the kidney tickler.
Here, pull up the one that pull up the photo I've just sent you.
On
pull up that
Instagram?
photo. Yeah.
How was your week,
Uh,
Colleen?
Huh?
How was your week? How
I'm
have you been?
great.
Poor
Yeah.
Colleen.
No, I'm here for this. No, I'm here for this shit. Like,
Good.
Oh, Instagram is asking me if I want to report or block you or delete this chat.
Yeah.
It gave me 3 options for our chat, and it's
Cool app.
report, block, or delete chat.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god! Wait, Jan, send it to Glinton Things because I'm
Okay.
not on the other one right now. Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's amazing! It just knew. It
Yeah,
just
no.
knew. It was like
It's great.
it was like, hey lesbians, are you okay with it?
It's a wild photo.
So this is what happens when Jon sends things.
It's PC, but
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus!
Jake will like this.
Come on then. Let's see it.
Oh no, man! You guys are so racist. You never send me white guys ever. What is this?
What are they?
Okay, it's just a picture. It's not a video. Thank God
No,
it's not a
it's not a
fucking
video.
video.
This
Those
mine, Jake.
are. Is
This
that what
our
happens on
shared
testosterone?
algorithm.
Steroids do that? What is?
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen?
That's too much estrogen.
I knew somebody was going to say that, Barry.
John
I knew
Young.
I knew somebody was going to say that. I'm not going to pull it up out of respect, but I knew that was going to come in the comments. Pause. Pause. I'd suck on that.
There we go.
Oh
In
man.
the UK, Jake will know this, but there used to be a magazine called Max Power. Do you remember Max Power, Jake? It was like a modified cars magazine.
Yeah.
And at the back of it, you couldn't do this now in 2025, but when we were teenagers, they certainly asked these questions. But they always used to ask the women at the car shows how many CDs that they could fit over their nipples, like that, you know, like how many they could stack on their nipples. And I bet you that guy, he could rock them up like.
Yo. And they would stay there too. Like they wouldn't even fall
Yeah.
off. They would just stay on there.
He could hold records.
Nope. I have never seen anything like that in my life. I don't
Jake's just
even
thinking about that guy now.
just
that's all I can
God's
think about.
design.
Oh, he's still there.
Just God's design. What is
Did you enjoy having Matt on the other day? I really like that show.
That was a good interview.
yeah,
That's great.
he's always cool. And you know, the thing about him that's really awesome is that he explains things like really difficult, like questions that you have. He explains the shit really well. Like he's got a way of making you think about it in a different way. That's kind of just easier to digest, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you're stuck in one train of thought, he can kind of give you another way to.
Another perspective on it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Do
So
you know,
that was.
that's absolutely true, and I think there's something to be said about that. Obviously, you've got to be willing to work on that. That comes with time and education and understanding what people need to hear. But I think as a coach, that is your job. What you have to do, you have to find as many different cues as you can to explain the same thing as simply as you can. If you've got a class of 10 people, each one of those people will respond differently and learn differently from each other. So, and you're trying to do it as simple as you can. And I think Matt's ability to do that may well stem from the decade of coaching that definitely nurtures that kind of mentality.
I mean, it's amazing, but even like politic wise, some very touchy subjects that come with politics.
Yeah.
He's even able to kind of navigate some of those questions. There was one I wanted to get to that I didn't, that next time I definitely will, is the one that's jumbled up in my mind is the Jan 6 situation and the two different camps from the Jan 6 situation. I really wanted to ask him that. And we got to almost the 2-hour mark and I was like,
Yeah.
what's up?
But I think being able to filter, like a filtration system of information that you get and boiling it down to the simple basics of a situation, taking it back to basic terms and being able to explain it, that does come with being able to coach, because you've got 1,000 different things being a CrossFit coach to have to break down and to coach and to make people understand. And I think it does change the way that you deal with things and communicate with people just generally. You know, it's definitely happened for me over the last sort of 12, 13 years. It's definitely changed the way that I talk to people. And having kids will do that as well, obviously.
Well,
Yeah, for sure.
and just also like he makes it comfortable to ask difficult conversations. It's like you don't feel like if you ask it, he's just going to be, oh, well, that's just a dumbass question. Why would you ask that question? Why don't you see it this way? Why don't you know what I mean? And it doesn't feel like he's trying to change your mind or kind of trying to force what he thinks on you. He just helps you kind of navigate your own.
And again, did you do the L1? Have you done the L1 at all?
Colleen did.
I have.
Yeah. So one thing that struck me with all of the L1 staff and the staff on all the courses was that exact thing. They embody there aren't any stupid questions philosophy. Someone will say something ridiculous or ask us a question that other people have asked. They have this amazing ability to make it seem like I said about Sivan asking me questions or replying to my questions or what I was saying. There's ability to make you feel like you've actually asked something genuine, and then they say it a different way and making you feel like comfortable to ask questions.
Yeah.
And Matt does that very well, and I'm
Mhm.
sure that's again from having a very, very successful big CrossFit gym over the decade of doing it. I'm sure that's been nurtured there as well. You can't talk to people like shit or make them feel like they've done something stupid
Yeah.
and expect them to stay as members. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that he's got such a successful gym goes hand in hand with that. So he's probably nurtured that, and it's also something that's come out of his job as well.
Mhm.
Less words, say more. Yeah, Marco. I agree with that too.
Mm.
And also, there's it. You can take things in so many different directions, and so many people just want you to get stuck on one certain way to like pigeonhole it in one certain type of way, and it's not okay for you to ask questions about it. It's like,
Mm.
okay, well, I don't kind of see this the same way that you do. I have questions about it. My brain kind of goes somewhere else. Even if I like you, even if we're
Mm.
friends, like,
Yeah.
I might be thinking about something. I might see it a different way, and I want to
Yeah.
ask a question. But then if I ask a question, you're pissed at me. Like, it's just. But
Mm.
with Matt, it's not like that, and it's very fun to talk to him. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
And I also
Mhm.
think that we don't give each other a little bit of understanding that there are just some topics that I was taught this way. Like
Mhm.
I learned about this topic, this information this way. But then you talk to somebody else and you hear something else on that topic, and then you ask a question for further explanation of what they're sharing about this topic. And then you get the nasty responses of, well, you're just fucking dumb. I'm not dumb. I just
Yeah.
learned about it this way. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I don't think that I think as a kid, you kind of were like, I learned it this way. So because that's how they teach you. Learn it this way and only this way. There's no other way. You can't ask questions because you're learning to take a test, to pass a course, to, whatever. But as you get older and you start to talk to other people, they bring different perspectives. They bring truth, or they bring knowledge, or they bring all of these things to the same topic, and then but you're not allowing people to talk about things, with each other.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the minute that you question something, the most of the response is, well, you're just a fucking moron. Not that I'm a fucking moron. It's just
Yeah,
I learned it this way, but now you're showing me that there's more information that I need to go learn about.
Yeah.
It's like you're talking about with coaching. If
Mm.
you only took the L1 and never took anything else or read anything else about coaching, nutrition, managing people, managing a class, anything like that, you would literally only teach it the way that you learned in the L1. But like you
Yeah.
said, that way doesn't always work with every single person in your space.
Mhm.
No.
So then you're going to lose opportunities. You're going to lose people. You're not going to be able to connect to those type of people. And I think
Yeah.
that can be like put on all of the, like so many other topics. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, like you said, I think it's the way people are brought up, and it's especially apparent when you meet kids that have been brought up to listen and to acknowledge and to question and to put forward their point of view, but also listen to other people's perspectives. So you
Mhm.
shouldn't be afraid to learn and update what you've already got. If you expect to go through life having the same knowledge base now and just be the same until the day you die, what a fucking boring life that would be.
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, you've got to be willing to accept that what you learned and what you were taught and what you've thought and assumed is correct potentially isn't. You've got to be willing to accept different experiences, different discussions, different topics, and different information and data and different evidence. Things change.
Yeah.
A lot of things evolve and change, and it's people's unwillingness to listen and to experiment with their own thoughts. That's what becomes very apparent. And I think you're finding a lot of that at the moment, where let's just say a decade ago, CrossFit was on the receiving end of it. High Rocks is the new CrossFit in terms of how it's
Yep.
perceived by people. So 10 years ago, we as CrossFitters had to listen to the barrage of "this is shit, you're not doing it properly, your form's bad, da 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 da."
Mhm.
10 years later, all the High Rocksers are getting the same shit from the CrossFitters that weren't around 10 years ago,
Mhm.
that didn't have to go through the shit of having to barrage. And I know it's all tongue in cheek. I know everyone's playing around, but it's almost like an arrogance of we're the best, you're not, rather than updating and thinking, do you know what? They might have a point. They might have value here. We can learn from this. We can update what we think about. And it's just frustrating. You know?
Mhm.
So you allow Jan to ask questions freely without.
He's allowed one now. Yeah.
That's like one of the main reasons why we even started the podcast, was because we see value outside of the affiliate.
Mhm.
You know, whereas how many, like, I don't know how many like affiliates get in experts on rowing, experts on weightlifting, experts on, you know, the powerlifting movements. Like, we don't how many gyms are bringing those people in,
Mhm.
or even going and getting further education in that. Because don't get me wrong, L1 is great. I've not done the L2, I've only done the L1 in terms of CrossFit, but I know Jake and myself have both gone on and done other education in the industry, and it's like, if that's all you know, that's all you're ever going to know. And even things you know now, in 10 years' time, the science might be different, and things evolve. You'll know yourself as well, Colleen, being a coach. Things
Mhm.
are always changing, so you've got to constantly be like sharpening the knife, so to speak.
Well, even for CrossFit too, right? You kind of have to do, you can't like just do CrossFit. You kind of do bodybuilding accessory with it. You do like just strict gymnastics accessory with it. It's not, you can't just throw 10 ring muscle ups in a workout and then get better at ring muscle ups, right? Like other sports have to be, you have to train other sports to be good at CrossFit too, right? Or disciplines.
The final line: play and learn new sports. Learn and play new sports. It's written in our fucking Fitness in 100 Words. It's literally written right at the end. Go use what we're doing in the gym to go and be fit and healthy and outside the gym, not be really good at racing inside the gym. That was never the intent.
Right.
And now that's all people do. And the thing is that Jon and I had this big conversation over the last sort of couple of years about all this. This is I think this is where Hyrox has really grabbed a lot of people by the horns, is because people come into CrossFit, they stick around for a while, they find an element of CrossFit that they really, really enjoy doing, and a lot of the time they're good at it. They find one of those specialities, and then if they're good enough, they join a club down the road that specializes in it, and then they take on that sport, and then they go with that. What Hyrox has done, it's taken the Metcon to the extreme, and the people that didn't like the weightlifting, they didn't like the gymnastics elements, but they love the Metcon. They love going out for a 3-mile run now and again on the Saturday and getting a croissant afterwards with a latte down the cafe. They love that element of CrossFit, and they're using that fitness that they've developed at Hyrox. We should welcome that. We should embrace it. It should be all part of what we do. It's equivalent of just another CrossFit, another weightlifting, another powerlifting competition down the road. It's the same thing. It's you're expressing the fitness that you've developed. If all you've done at a CrossFit gym is to develop a 7 to 20 minute window of fitness involving a barbell and a pull-up, you're not doing CrossFit. It's as simple as that.
I like this. This made me ask a question. Vindicate kind of over all the Hyrox bashing. Just let it be. Why is there Hyrox bashing? Is it just because of the wall balls not being judged correctly? Is that why it's, or do people just really not?
It's a tribal thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, that's what Jake said. It was like people used to slag off CrossFitters, but they didn't understand what was going on. It's like, obviously we understand what's going on with Hyrox, but you're seeing not just Hiller, but other people post up maybe, a handful of people that aren't doing reps correctly over maybe like 5,000 people that complete that race at a weekend, or 10,000, because there's some events that are 4 days long now, and you maybe get, thousands of people each day, and you're seeing a handful of people not doing it correct. But it's like, go any local CrossFit comp, you see shit reps all the time, but it's just more publicized because it's such a big event.
Is it?
In my opinion, that's
just one race. It's just one race per weekend, right? Unless you're going to do like some of the the team events or something, or do you?
You get people that race multiple times in a weekend. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Is it the same
Mm.
race though every time?
Yeah, well, yeah, but you would have if you like, let's say I wanted to do more than one, and I would have to do like a solo, and I could do a mixed doubles or a doubles or a relay.
But it is the
gets-
same.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the
but
same
you could
course.
do-
It's the same course, but you could do it with like a partner or in a team of 4.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
same event, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
people that say, "Oh, it's boring," it's the same event. Let's go to the Olympics, shall we, and use that as an example. Is anyone ever bored by the 100-meter sprint?
No,
No,
Right.
that hasn't
it's
changed.
still
Yeah.
brilliant watching them do
Yeah.
it. Like,
I've got a question, and the people in the chat can answer this. Right, question, little tangent. What would you rather? A 7.5 second 100 meters, a 300 kilo snatch, or an hour and a half marathon?
to
take that.
watch.
No, to do. What would you rather hold the record in?
Oh man, the sprint.
The snatch.
I think
Snatch,
I would
300
personally take the snatch, but I would love to be able to run a marathon in 90 minutes.
No, I want no
The
part
snatch,
of that.
I think the snatch is probably the most impressive to me personally.
I want it to be over in 7 seconds. Just
Well, the
pause.
snatch is over in the
Have
snatch
you-
will be
have
over
you
in
been talking
two.
to
So.
my wife.
Well, didn't we find out on Kill Taylor today that it's not 2 pumps, it's 1.5?
Oh yeah.
Didn't we find that out today?
Yeah. 2.5
I
pumps,
got that.
So
Speed kills. I
So-
like all the snatches.
I was in the high performance center here with a few of the athletes the other day, and we had a whole mix of people. We had a long jumper, a sprinter, a 10K runner, a weightlifter, and a swimmer. So a bunch of people, and a golfer. And we were
Good
just
point,
talking
Ken.
about it, and unanimously they all said the 100-meter sprint. All of them.
Hmm.
And I tend to agree. And the reason being, we were talking about why, like if you're a CrossFitter and you do Olympic lifting or you do Olympic lifting, you know what 300 kilos snatch, well, you don't know what it feels like. You can fathom how ridiculous that is. That is just obscene.
Hmm.
The marathon and the run are more relatable for most people. So most people on the high street will know what that means. The 300 kilos, they've got no bearing. They don't know the difference between that and 200 kilos. They don't know what that means. The 100-meter sprint, everyone knows what that means. An hour and a half marathon, people might say, oh, what's the marathon world record time? They might not know it. Everyone pretty much knows the 100-meter sprint is like 9.5 seconds ish. Everyone knows, and everyone watches that. It's the peak. That's the blue ribboned event. But it was interesting that no one in the chat or you said the 100-meter sprint.
I would do the sprint. I couldn't fathom snatching, like you said, that much
No.
weight or whatever. Is there a girl's weight? What's the girl's weight?
Pull up Seema's comment. I think if you could do the sprint in 7.5 seconds, you could probably transfer that over to strength sports fucking very well. And we had that conversation with Annie last week on the podcast because she was a sprinter before she went into powerlifting. Now she's the 4th best in her weight class, like worldwide, and she's only like 4 years into powerlifting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, so she was a sprinter.
And a
And
dancer.
she wasn't even a 100-meter sprinter. She was a 2 and 400, so not even like as explosive as the 100 meters.
Vindicate, who's the most healthy out of the 3?
I'd have to look at their blood work.
I would imagine
It can't be the marathoner.
Yeah, I don't think it would be the 300 kilo snatcher.
Yeah, it's gonna be the sprinter, isn't it?
The marathon,
It's probably going to be the sprinter.
the
Yeah.
marathon runner probably wouldn't. I mean, any elite sport, they're not exactly health, are they? Performance and
it's
health
gonna be
aren't
the sprinter.
hand in hand.
Yeah,
But
that's-
yeah, I just a segue question. There you go. But yeah, going back to the high rocks, I think it's just one of those things. It's people are afraid that it's encroaching and taking away people from our gyms, I guess. But if we embrace it as a gym, like most CrossFit gyms in the UK now are taking on High Rocks affiliation, but that's come with a price. Is that part of the reason you do a High Rocks affiliation is that you get a pre-sale availability for tickets to book on.
And that's not happening.
And that's not happened because there's a queue in the pre-sale of 15,000 people going for 3,000 tickets at the pre-release or 5,000 tickets. It sold out instantly, the London event, and I think they had 35,000 tickets available.
Yeah,
went
James and I
instantly.
tried to get a doubles one on the pre-sale and we couldn't get
And
it.
it's
Then
an
we both
average.
tried. Yeah.
It's an average of £110, so about $120 a ticket, and they sold 35,000 instantly. And
Aye,
that's
that's-
one week. That's
that's
one
before-
weekend.
Yeah, that's one weekend.
for the
Just
athletes.
London. Yep.
That's
For
crazy.
you guys to participate, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was
Damn.
35,000 tickets.
Yeah.
And they're like £120 a head. So you're talking
Mm.
like, well,
It's a lot of
what's that?
money.
What's the maths? That's crazy.
So they're
So-
making bank right now.
And you think they transport all that kit to the next city? About, is it 2 weeks between? Roughly speaking, they've got one big set of kit that they cart around Europe. They've got one set of kit for South America, one set of kit or a couple for North America, and they just transport around. All they need to do now, once they feel like the growth's there, they just get a whole
Like,
new
their
kit. a whole
tickets
new-
are only like £10 in the UK. So that would be like $17. It's not $50 to spectate.
Mm. And that's how it's done. And most people, if you go down to a high street, you take 100 people. Most of those people would prefer, if you brief them on what the event was, they would prefer to do a High Rocks than a CrossFit event. That's a fact.
Well, there's less to prepare for, right?
Kind of. I would
would
say it's,
think
it's
that.
more time.
It's easier to, I would say it's easier to like program for, but it's definitely not
Mm.
less to prepare for. Because I've done 7 of them now, and each of them are just as fucking hard as the last one.
The running, the amount of running.
Jake's, well, I went live after the last one I did. I was fucking dying. Jake called me Phil Mitchell, and when I was lying on the ground, that'll go over your heads, Phil Mitchell, but it was good to me.
Wow.
But I don't want to lose this because I was thinking the same thing, Travis. Could CrossFit do a traveling event? But no, right? Because the kits.
wouldn't.
Oh, look at me talking like a Isle of Man. The kits that they would have to bring around would be too big, right? Like they couldn't do that.
Yeah,
Hang on.
it would cost a lot.
I mean,
Your
unless
kit-
the event, if the event was like regionals, maybe where everything was uniform, like the event was
Yeah.
uniform, you could just bring a kit around from city to city. But oh, you're sharing stuff, Jake. Nice.
I think it would need to be a company like
That,
we don't have.
that's
to- we
Phil
don't
Mitchell.
have- We don't have. to.
That's what Jon looked like at the end of his race.
I did because I was lying on the floor while I was on the live. Yeah.
How long does it take you to recover?
No, I was
from those,
fine.
yeah.
I drove it.
Good
I drove
point.
8 hours, like 2 hours after it.
Oh God.
Yeah. You've just got to think like the volume of training you have to do for that amount of running. It's 1K run 8 times with a station in between. And
No.
Well,
it's typically
like
an hour and a half,
1.2.
isn't it, Jon? Average?
It's like 1.2. Yeah, my fastest is 90 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So about an hour and a half.
Mm.
Map Lady, CrossFit comp would take longer. But do you remember the invitational days? Wasn't that only like a
Mm.
2-hour?
To be fair, like
Thing.
High Rock now goes from like Wednesday to the Sunday night. So
Yeah.
like most of them
Oh.
are like days long.
Yeah, it's a big old setup. But
Maybe.
with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
CrossFit thing, the reason a lot of people don't like it, and the reason that I do like it, and the reason that other people don't, is the constantly varied approach. The reason that CrossFit won't ever be an Olympic sport, the reason why it's not a sport, it's not a contained environment, it's constantly varied.
uniform,
You're preparing for the
yeah.
unknown. It's why we love it, but why a lot of people don't like the idea of it. You don't know what you're getting in for.
Yeah.
So whereas High Rocks, you know what you're training for. A lot of people like that safety blanket of knowing exactly what they're walking into. With a traveling event, like a circus act, a CrossFit event traveling, you would need to know what you're going for spectators and for viewers, to people to, book tickets and go. There would need to be an element of what am I getting myself in for? We used to find it all the time with I used to run competitions in the UK, and I would be absolutely harassed a couple of weeks before saying, can we have the release work? Can you release the workouts? Can we know what the workouts are? What's the workout? What's workout one? And people just hate the anticipation. And we ended up a week before releasing the workouts after that, because we thought, "Do you know what? We got a lot less hassle. People aren't going to perfect it. They still got to perform it at high intensity to win at the competition." But I get why people don't. But in the regionals days, like, the reason it worked really well and potentially badly was that everyone did the same workouts over the 3 different weekends.
Right.
But the first is why it was unfair to compare between the regions, because if you're in week 1, you would be the first people having a stab at the workouts. By week 3, they have learned everything they need to know about how to pace, how to go, the workout, the floor space, everything's gauged. It's like Hill Taylor. Like a lot of people say, that his disadvantage is going first, because everyone learns from that, and pacing and everything like that. However, that's why the whole qualification process wasn't compared to each other, because you're only compared to the people that you're going against, which is staged. So, but that's why regionals were so cool, because you got to see the times being broken each week and changed, and see the performance getting up, because it was the same event. It was repeated. So we got to see it repeated and see it getting better and better.
I think when it comes to Hyrox, that's why we're seeing like people getting closer to, well, Hunter's now been beaten at the Worlds, and then he just got beat in Vegas, and it's because people are, he pumps out so much content of what he does. People have watched him race so many times. He's the best, and he still is the best. And people are like, "Oh, fucking, I can do that." And now they're recreating it, and they're honing their craft. And I think that's another reason why people love it, is because you could do the Open, 10 times, and you might get workouts that come out and you're just, "Oh, I'm just crap at that." And it's like, you don't know. It's like, you might go into the Open and feel like, "Oh, I feel way fitter this year, and I know I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I'm faster, doing everything," and then you don't even,
that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not that much better. Whereas like Hyrox, it's like, you can tell, like, you can go and look at all, like, you can pull up Rock's life, and you can pull up all 6 races that I've done, and you can see like run splits from the first race right the way to the last race. You can see like your times on all the different stations, and you can be like, and then it gives you a grid of like, here, this is where you were weaker in this race than that race, and it's like, cool, I need to work on this. So I think people like that too. It's like, oh, I can see where I'm getting fitter, I can see what I need to work on, and that's what I'm going to go away and do. It's not to say that's better, because I love both, but I think that's for people that aren't into CrossFit. It's like, that's their thing, and it's like easy access.
Again, as well, you see it, and I'm just kind of taking a spin on what Vindicate's just said, what Travis just said about
the bottom
event you're only competing.
Sorry.
The same opportunity to prepare. I think CrossFitters sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, they like to hide behind the fact that it's unknown. So, oh, I didn't know that was coming up. I didn't know how to pace it. I didn't know what the weight would feel like. I didn't know this. With events that you know what's coming, you knew. You had time to prepare. You knew the event. You're being directly compared, and you've got nowhere to hide. And sometimes, not all the time, you see it at the affiliate. People hide behind the fact that they hadn't done it before, and that's their reason for not having done well. My mother-in-law said that actually at WADA, she'd never used an assault rower before, so she went really slowly on it. And I just said, well,
it's kind of like, but you know how to row.
You know how to row. You know what being really uncomfortable feels like. So you should have got there. But her reasoning was because she'd never used it before. And you tend to see that crop up now and again. But with an event like Hyrox, to its credit, you can't hide behind that. You know what you're getting in for.
Well, and I think
there's a competition in the UK. I don't know if it'll branch out the UK, but it's run by March On. March On are like a big well-known company over here. Reggie Fassa was actually, so he did he make the games, or he just semis? I think he made the games, didn't he?
Semis. Yeah.
He's coached by one of the March On guys. I'm pretty sure he was, or he still might be. But they run an event called, it's ATHX. What's it?
Athletics.
Yeah. And they do their workouts for the season, but it's more of a CrossFit kind of comp. So they do things like clean and jerk. So they've got like a strength component, cardio, like aerobic component, and then they've got a metcon. So like it's like a 2-hour comp, and they run through it. It's a bit more like Hyrox, but it's more kind of CrossFit-y as well. And they do strength portion, they test strength, they test aerobic capacity, and then they test like your like metcon with like gymnastics and stuff. But it's the the full season. It's the same workouts every event that they go to, and then they have the finals at the end of the year, and then the next season they change everything up, which is like that's a cool event to do, and it's a little bit more kind of varied. But again, for the whole year, you go up against, like, you could do any city, Manchester, Glasgow, London, and then like, oh well, the winners in Manchester, this was their scores, and you can like try and beat them to get into the finals at the end of the year. That's a cool event. So something like that, CrossFit could do something like that. There's no stopping them because smaller companies out there are doing it.
It's ingenuity from CrossFit. So CrossFit is like the granddad here, and then all of these offsprings are shooting off out of CrossFit, but the speciality is slightly changed, basically been diluted slightly in a certain way or specialized, but there's nothing stopping you from participating in them and being a CrossFitter.
That's what
the
Rich
thing.
was saying.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I was watching a little bit of Rich's conversation on Sevons or whatever. And that's exactly what he's saying. And he said a lot of what you said, Jake, whereas the number one thing that all of these newer High Rocks little side competitions and side fitnesses is they don't have the unknown, which is what we all love as CrossFit athletes in our affiliates, the competitors that take it to the next level, and also fans. Like, one of my favorites was Chaos, because you didn't know what was going to happen, and you want to see how athletes are adapting.
Yeah, how they adapt.
Yeah, for sure. But why not give the people that don't like that something to train for? And I think that it feels very much like, if this succeeds, and again, this goes across so many different things. Like, if Jake succeeds, then I fail. If Jan succeeds, then I fail. Versus saying we all can succeed in whatever capacity that looks like. Because isn't the bigger picture getting everybody off the couch?
Exactly.
CrossFit's number one thing is get off the couch. And so High Rocks gets people off the couch. But I mean, as coaches, we help our athletes with a North Star. There's something to train for. I've worked with older athletes or whatever, and the most important thing for some of them is balance. We spend a lot of time on balance because it's the fear of they get to a certain point and they fall, they hurt themselves. They don't want, they want to eliminate as much of that as possible, you know, or getting up and down.
Actually being able to get up off the floor. It's like people say, oh, I don't want to burpee. It's like, you don't have to do burpees, but if you fall over, can you get back up unassisted?
Right. Yeah. Can you lift something from the ground and put it on a table? Can you lift something and push it over your head? So I like to really, or my clients, I usually have older clients, I relate it to everyday life. One of my clients has a bulge disc. And the first thing his doctor said was, well, don't bend, don't twist, don't sit, don't. And I'm like, okay, so don't live. So don't live. I said, you're going to sit in a chair, correct?
Yep.
Of course. Then you're going to squat. You're going to squat to a bench and stand up. Are you going to bend down and tie your shoe? Well, yeah, obviously. Then you're going to hinge at the hips to go down and tie your fucking shoe. So we all want that. And then I also think as athletes, we all need something that's going to keep us going back into the gym. I think Bill Grundler put a post on that. We all need to be competitive in some aspect to keep us going back to the gym. Because if we just try to do it just because, that's where most of us fall out.
So what do you think about, it was talked about the other day in one of the Savon shows, but what do you think about them if they all got together? You know what I mean, right? Like, if they all kind of promoted each
like
other.
High Rocks and CrossFit.
High Rocks, CrossFit, Spartan Race, like
marathon running, swimming,
and like work together.
Yeah, because like Matt and I kind of talked about it the other day, but what's the feeder system for High Rocks?
Here's my take on this. Here's my take on it. Which gym can you go to prepare for all of them?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Why? So there's no feeder. There's no feeder system. Yeah.
There's no Spartan gym that's worth its salt. There's no High Rocks only affiliates that can trade people for other stuff and that Hyrox. There's no Hyrox methodology training plan. It's all done by coaches and individuals. There's no journal handbook to go with it. There's no explanation of eat vegetables, nuts, and seeds, sun-free little starch, no sugar. There's no mechanics. There's no methodology. There's no essays of virtuosity. There's none of that with any of the others. I've got a weightlifter, an ex-swimmer who's just taken 2 seconds off her butterfly 100 meters time in a year from doing CrossFit. I've got long jumpers that have done that. I've got marathon runners that have done that. I've got golfers that have done that. I've got every single sport you can think of. Powerlifters, they get fitter, healthier, stronger, faster by doing what we do. Even if it's twice a week, they get better. We are the center point. We're the linchpin to all of it. You can get better at whatever you want to do by doing 1 to 5 sessions of what we do every week. It's constantly very functional fitness at high intensity. You're going to get better. You can't get better at CrossFit by doing anything else. So we are the central piece. With our gym that I'm a member of and a coach at, and I'm a PT at, Dan and Erin run it. A quarter of the gym is now jiu-jitsu mats. The other quarter of it is a Hyrox facility. We've got a CrossFit gym there. We do kids classes. We do OAPs classes. We do mum fit. We do every single category of people you can think of. We've got everything geared up for longevity of life and performance. Whatever you want to achieve in life, we teach breakful and burpee to 65 plussers so that when they fall over, and the jerk, it's something as simple as being able to do a split jerk, not necessarily a split jerk, a clean, split clean, a forward lunge, being able to prepare the frontal load to land on that foot so you don't trip over. It's the ability to do a break fall. So if you fall backwards, you know how to brace yourself so you don't smack your head on it and break your neck. It's the ability to do a burpee so you don't break your hip and then end up dead in hospital. What we do counts, and it's central to all of it. So we should be promoting the shit out of our members to go and do those other things so they see the value in what we do.
Yeah.
Not being naive enough to think that if they go and do it, we'll lose them. I'm sorry, if your gym has that, you had a shit gym.
Right. I get it. So it's the other way around from what I was thinking. It's like CrossFit should be yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Because CrossFit's the center.
We gotcha.
Yeah.
And then everything waves out from the center.
Yeah.
Vindicate, my 72-year-old mom has been doing CrossFit for almost 10 years. She fell at home and landed hard as hell on her shoulder, was sore for weeks, but I can't imagine what would have happened if she wasn't doing CrossFit. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But for some people, you still can't say the words CrossFit because they associate it with getting hurt.
And
you know,
all
so
I would say to that is, where have they got that idea?
Yeah.
And what media have they seen to combat that? What media have they seen? Have they seen 25-year-olds doing butterfly? Have they seen the videos of 65-year-olds learning how to do breakfalls and burpees? I don't think they have.
No.
People have this misconception about CrossFit and unfortunately, we've been banging on this drum for years. It's really boring. But if the media that's going out isn't counteracting that, the Jeff Adlers and people doing really heavy snatches, people assume that that's what CrossFit is. And unfortunately, and
that's
again,
what they do.
It's not CrossFit. What they're doing isn't CrossFit. They're the 0.01%.
Yep.
What about the 99.99% of CrossFitters? What about them? Let's show the world what they do instead of showing them what the 0.01. And it's great. The top tier are awesome. They're the circus that come into town, and we love watching them and clapping them. But then we go home, and for the rest of the 364 days of the year, we're in the gym doing not so glamorous stuff and not watching 25s with the shirts off doing butterfly. And that is exactly, and I hate, that's absolutely incorrect.
I was just hoping you weren't going to pull that up. I was see if I was on my account, I would have just fucking, because I'm obviously a range, I would have just fucking deleted that.
No,
I wasn't.
We had a discussion. We had a discussion the other day where CJ
Jake hot, but see the steam coming out of his ear.
I was like,
CJ,
I can't delete it.
CJ did a clip or a show or something when he was ill, bless him. And he said something on those lines. He said, historically, over the last 10 years, and we only found this out after fucking Augustus had thrown a grenade in the room and run away. What CJ had actually said was, he believes over the last 10 years was that the affiliates wouldn't have grown to how big they were without the exposure to the games being online and people available to see and promote the brand. Now, what
CJ
Augustus
said
said,
that.
CJ said that. but
CJ said that the affiliates would not have grown without
the
the
games
sport.
promoting.
wouldn't have got to where they
He was
were
worried if they
without.
got rid of the Open, then the affiliates would suffer.
Yeah.
They got rid of the
Mhm.
Open.
If they got rid of the Open in the games, then he said the affiliates would suffer.
Okay. And
That was,
Gus
that
said,
was his end point, wasn't it?
That was it. And basically, what it was I think it was Augustus or Sean came in the chat and said, CJ said the affiliates would be shit and gone without the games. And that's all he said. And then ran away. And then we all went hard on CJ. And then he came in and went, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I said. And I think CJ's opinion evolved on that, I think. But again, he did have a point. I think that the media and the exposure to the games did obviously provide media for showing what CrossFitters can achieve right at the tip of the spear and the top end.
Mhm.
But the affiliates would be fine. What we do doesn't impact now. If you were, and I know that Gerald was in the chat, bless him, and a few other people. Heidi was a big proponent of the affiliates on that day, and basically said no one knows who Jeff Adler is. Nobody knows any of the CrossFit Games athletes other than maybe the people that won it 2 years ago. Everyone knows who Fronin was. Most people know who Matt Fraser was. Most people know who Tia Toomey is by now, potentially. But the games athletes mean nothing at the affiliate. They genuinely don't. I wish they did, but they don't. It doesn't impact us. We've evolved. We've changed. The affiliate has definitely changed over the last 10 years. It's just a completely different look, whether you like it or not. What our job is to make sure that people understand that the methodology is CrossFit and not the sport, because the methodology was never supposed to be a sport.
Yeah, Jet says that. When we talked
Yeah.
to Jet the other day, we asked him that question. I mean, how
Yeah.
many people in your affiliate know about the games, know these, elite athletes and whatever? And he's like, a very small amount.
Mhm.
It's only the people that are trying to get to the next step. So when you have those members in the affiliates that are
Yeah.
trying to get through the Open and then
Mhm.
get the invites to whatever they call them this year. What is it?
Yeah.
The in-person,
Listen,
whatever.
In-person and online
Yeah.
semis.
Something.
So-
Honestly, I have
and-
no idea.
I always
Yeah.
say regionals, it's not the same thing, but everybody knows what I mean.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
those people that are trying to get into that next class, like you have those athletes that want to get through the Open and then make it to the regionals.
Yeah.
So they know,
Yeah. They're aware.
other regional athletes that are trying to do the same thing. And then obviously they know the top, the elites. And then
Yeah.
you have the ones that are trying to get all the way to the game. So of course they know those people. But like you
Yeah.
said, the everyday people
Yeah.
are just there and their friends hold them accountable to go work out.
Yeah.
It's
only
like
reason-
I'll see you tomorrow.
The only reason I saw like Rich or Annie or anybody back in like 2010 or 11 is because I watch ESPN to death. And that just so happened to be one of the times where
Right.
they had it on like ESPN clips and stuff like that.
Right.
But when I
and
walked into an affiliate, it was because a friend of mine owned the affiliate
yeah.
and I really needed to get like back in shape. I was in my 30s and just was like,
Yeah.
okay, no, I can't go into my 40s like this.
Right. Now take away the ability to watch ESPN.
Right. I wouldn't have known anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the
only-
rest. Welcome to the rest of the world.
Okay.
The only reason I knew anything about the games was just via the Netflix documentaries, and it was because they were on, like the 2015 one came on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
And then
I didn't find
Mhm.
any of that until after I was already in the affiliate and I was already excited about
We drank the Kool-Aid.
yeah, we drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So then we wanted to watch everything we could watch.
Yeah, those first
Ah.
couple of years when you first start doing CrossFit, because you've got those newbie gains, because you're picking up pull-ups, because you're
Yeah.
learning to lift better and everything, you think, oh, this is so cool.
Right.
Who are the glamour? Who are the rock stars in this? After
Mhm.
2 years, do you know what? Boz did my L1 in Stockholm, right, in
Oh,
2012.
That's
and
cool.
That's amazing.
He said at the time, there's a 2-year wait list before you become a CrossFitter, and it meant nothing to me then. He said there's a 2-year wait list, and I was like, what the fuck are you on about? I'm a CrossFitter. I've been a CrossFit a year now. I'm basically semi-pro. I've done my own one now. And then the 2-year mark hit, and I hadn't achieved what I wanted to. I realized that I needed to do my skill progressions. I needed to learn how to overhead squat properly. And I thought, oh, fuck. I'm a CrossFitter. Now I realize I've got to get better at shit. It's not all just fucking rainbows and snatching. I'm actually doing this for life.
Jan, that's a really good way to say it. Can you say it again?
I said, when you first go into the field, you try and run before you can even walk. And I was the same, because you're like,
all of us,
especially if you've had a background in other sports. Like I came from powerlifting. I was like, obviously I could squat 200 kilos. And then someone was like, oh, how much can you squat? And I said this. They're like, how much can you front squat? I've front squatted 150 kilos. And the lady was like, oh, go on, do it. And then I went up to the bar and crossed my hands like this.
And choked yourself out.
What the fuck are you doing? And I was like, front squat. And she's like, that's not how you front squat. And I was like, oh, humble.
And then you try to put your hands like this, and you're like,
can't.
Oh, I couldn't. I was just like, oh, can't do it. Yeah.
So Marco's touched on a point that I was going to make, actually, right? Introduced to the box, my coach, Ryan Fisher and Kay Leverage, right? I know who they are.
Come on. Wait, hold on, Jay. Come on. You got to get used to reading the entire thing. You have to,
That's what pulled me to get better.
We normally just have to pull up really short comments that tell
So great point, Marco, and well received here. However, you were very fortunate to be at a box that had a superstar there that's worldwide known in CrossFit.
Right.
The 99% of gyms that don't have that wouldn't have had that appeal. So what do they get to use for appeal? Like what do they get to draw people in? The coaching and the community. They don't necessarily have the sport to go to, right? So that's where the coaching gets better, the community gets better, and less people focus on the sport. Now, 10 years down the line, those boxes have got thriving communities. And there was a really fucking good piece that Jason Kalipa wrote. It was 13, 14. And he's at a whiteboard, and it's all on YouTube. He does this presentation. It was when he first started doing the NorCal stuff. And he's writing on a whiteboard, and he does this big circle, and he puts the athletes, like the games athletes, as central to the affiliate. And he says, the thing is with having, and then he draws next to it, and he says the community is central in this circle. He said, the issue with building your entire business, this is obviously to business people and gym owners, around these people are magpies, and they've got an expiration date. They will fly off to the next like shiny thing, and you'll be left with nothing. You need to put the community central. The athletes will spring out of that, but you need to put the community in the middle. And that was 10 years ago. 10 years later, we are now living the legacy of what happened then. We've got gyms that are purely based on coaching and community and not too bothered about the sport, because that's what they had to do to survive, especially the last 5 years. The sport couldn't be central. Otherwise, they'd have shut. And now we're where we are. And then people are moaning, why isn't the sport being taken up? Why aren't the professional athletes being admired? It's because it's great, but no one gives a shit. Like, what do we get out of it? I know it sounds selfish, but as affiliate owners or coaches, it's great. But what are you doing for us? We don't need anything from you. We're not asking you for anything. But your primary goal as a CrossFit athlete is to promote CrossFit. Yeah. That's your job. And if you're not doing that, then we want nothing to do with you.
This Map Lady, our gym has an adaptive athlete doing the announcement 25.2 and nobody cares. I said this to you the other day, and I like just thinking about it as an announcement. If there was an announcement being held by us, I don't think I would care either, unless like you guys were going to be around. Like if people I know from the chat or whatever, it's kind of like the games. Like, yeah, I'm super excited to go to the games, but I'm more excited to go to the games and hopefully meet everybody. Yeah, like I'm more excited about that and going to that. If the games was in, Texas or California right now, I'm not flying out there.
No,
it's not for athletes. You know what I mean? Like I'll watch it. Yeah. I'm definitely going to watch the stream.
Yeah.
Because I like it and I like seeing them fitness race, but I'm not, I'm not going to
Yeah.
go all the way out there, pack my kid up and,
No.
have him stay out late and do all those things.
We just do that for Crash.
We just do that for Crash.
Yeah,
But
that's
again,
it.
we went to
But for
Crash
you, for
to meet everybody.
yeah,
Like to meet Bill. I was like, most of the crew is going to be there.
and support everybody.
And
That's
this is probably going to be our one chance that we're going to be able to meet 90% of Sevon's crew. So
Yeah.
we have to go, you know?
Jeff Adler is punching the air hearing Jake's comment.
But so with all of that in mind, right? And I'm not promoting myself here, right? But
You are. It's okay.
That's okay.
but when I talked to Savon on my very public interview, the point that I made to him and have done since is that I'm really not interested in the sport, and there's enough people already talking about the sport.
Yeah.
We don't need anyone else talking about the sport. It's had so much exposure. It's had a lot of it. What we need right now is conversation around the affiliate and the foundations of CrossFit and the methodology. And I know that sounds boring. I know it sounds like it's not the circus that's come into play. I know you're not going to see an elephant balancing on a Swiss ball. Well, you might if you go to the wrong gym. But so what I'm okay. We had a think and we played around with a couple of ideas, and the name that I've come up with for the show that we want to go with is around that. I've called it the base show or base show.
Yeah.
Base of the pyramid in terms of our development. So we obviously the CrossFit pyramid, nutrition's right at the bottom, then metabolic conditioning, and we go up. The base is somewhere where you go to reconvene. Everyone's home. It's the base. The base is the affiliate. It lends
That's
itself
cool.
to other pieces as well. So that's what I've gone with as the name. And I hope that reflects what the nature of the show will be about.
Go follow, like, subscribe.
So
Good
I
show.
sent that to Sevi, and his words were, "It's very European. I approve."
That's
And
cool.
so that's the other thing. So Jon and I don't know if you've noticed this, but obviously we had Athena and we've had Ava on, but
Mhm.
a lot of the guests that we've got lined up, a lot of the people, mostly who Jon has spoken to and recruited, we haven't quite got my list of people because Henry Carville's busy. So is Tom Hardy. But a lot of the people that we're going to be talking to and that I am going to focus on with mine is Europe. It's our region that
Yeah.
hasn't necessarily got that covered. You know, there are over 750 million people in Europe as a continent. It's double the size of America. We haven't even uncovered European CrossFit yet. We haven't grown it yet. It's not quite there. We haven't got a big show here. There's no coverage. There's no CrossFit media coming out of where we are. And it's such a fucking big market. And that needs to be explored. And the affiliates need to be exposed. We need to show people what the affiliates are all about. We always get questions like on Sebi's chat. It's always about why are the European athletes all the ones that are bailing out? Why were the European athletes the ones that didn't want to carry on at the games? It might be a very obvious answer, but the reason that you don't know that is because we don't really know them that well.
Right.
So and the thing is, that's the games athletes. They're not the people that I'm really that bothered about.
Yeah.
I want to expose and demonstrate and show the value that the affiliates in Europe have got.
Yeah.
And how we're producing these athletes is because of our affiliate standard is so good. We've got so many different countries. Europe is made up of I think it's like 42 different countries with totally different languages, with ideals, moral sets, different fucking religions. Everything is so different from each country to country. And each of those has its own type of affiliate. And there's all these different people, like Savon had the Israeli guy on a couple of weeks ago or last week. that was so good to see. It was awesome hearing the way that he's operated and world affairs. I mean, how current is that with talking to him? So there's so much potential there, and this is what Savan's point was, is that it needs talking about, it needs highlighting, it needs demonstrating, and it needs showing. And again, I'm not too fussed about the games, so or the athletes. They're part of the puzzle, but they're the 0.1% of what we do. So it's the other 99% that we want to talk about. Whereas Pedro, for example, and Jason, and Craig, for Richie, if you think about what they cover, Pedro, how fucking awesome is Pedro though?
Yeah.
He has a certain skill set which is amazing that I don't have. I'm not as funny as he is. I'm not as dry-witted, and I don't have his interview skill. He's fucking insane.
Yeah,
He's great.
But his interest is in the sport predominantly.
Right.
As is Jason. Jason loves grid. He loves interviewing the games athletes, and he loves that, and that's his passion. Craig Ritchie travels around. He goes to the events. He loves weightlifting as a sport. He interviews his best mates with a lot of the British and some of the European games athletes.
Yep.
I can't for the life of me remember the last time that a random affiliate owner was interviewed and talked to about their members and what achievements they've had and how they what systems they've got in place, what booking systems they use, who's their highest achieving member, what sports have they got there? Do they have, like Sousa does? Look at Sousa's show.
Yeah.
That's closer to what I'm kind of thinking about.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
And you've got affiliates in the UK that are pumping out like over 300 open signups.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
Northumbria, yeah.
There's amazing affiliates in the UK.
You guys are gonna have a fucking blast. I can't wait to watch. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And we've got tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you.
We've got a chap called Nigel Levitt on Outside the Box tomorrow night. So he's a 5 times Hyrox World competitor. He's podiumed 3 times for his age group. I know he's just aged up into the next one, and he'll be competing at Worlds again this year. He's got a sub. I'm pretty sure he's got sub 60 for a solo, but he's very good men's doubles as well. He just competed in Vegas, and
this guy, right?
We've got him, Nigel. So he's local to me, and he's a Hyrox coach. He's not just a Hyrox coach; he's a strength and conditioning coach, but he's an endurance athlete, and he's very, very good.
That's cool. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, didn't you want to talk to them about Sundays?
Oh yeah, who's getting custody of Sundays? Because I feel like we've been sharing custody of Sundays. No,
we're always quite like we'll look
kidding.
and see like, oh, we can get people in before and finish.
It's so funny. It just the last couple have been hilarious. I don't normally have one on Sunday anyway. You guys do, but like I was just like, oh shit, they did schedule a 1-for-1. I got to move mine, and I was like calling like, my ex-husband, hey, can I have next Sunday with the kids? Because
to answer Seema's question, it's a unicorn.
Can you tell us your country's national animal?
It's a unicorn. Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is. Look it up.
It's not a
Google
real.
it. Yeah, fact check that.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask you too, Jan, something with our son, he's been starting to stim in a different way than he has been before. Like he used to stim with his hands a lot, and now he's kind of vocal stimming
a lot.
Okay.
All of a sudden.
Yep, a lot.
I was just kind of curious if you
what kind of vocal stimming? Like
just like sounds, like very
sound,
high
pitched sounds.
high pitched sounds.
Adam does that. Adam does a lot of that.
Did he ever change them though? Like I was like, oh, he's really not stimming anymore, because I didn't really realize that the sound thing was and I was like, oh no, he just changed the way that he's stimming now.
It doesn't. I wouldn't say it's changes, but he definitely evolves, and what he does as he gets older certainly changes. Yeah, because how old's your son now?
7.
Yeah,
he'll be 8 in April.
Adam's 11. Yeah, and and he's obviously different on the spectrum than your son.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Adam, as much as Adam, he communicates very well with us. His speech and communication probably like it wouldn't be good for him to be just out in the world by himself.
Right.
That
Right.
makes
Right.
sense, yeah. But he certainly does. He does stim a lot with his hands. He bounces. He likes the feeling of how he he listens to music and he
Yeah. Yep.
puts his head back and forth, and you ask him like, what you up to? And he knows, and he'll tell you I'm stimming. Because I'll be like, are you all right? They're gonna make sure he's okay, and he'll tell you I'm stimming. You're
Like, I'm
"Okay, cool,
stimming."
like, crack on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that feel good, or are you stressed? And you'll say it feels good. You're like, all right, cool.
Cool.
Like go for it, yeah. But yeah, like I'm sure, just like neurodivergent people, as
Yeah.
especially young boys, as they're growing up, hormones and stuff changing, like
Okay.
boys,
Because I was like,
boys just
wow.
disappear and they spend a long time in the bathroom. I'm
Oh.
sure, like that,
Dude,
you
he
know?
found it. We send him into his room when you see his hand down his pants. You're like, that's for your room, bud. Like, you
Yeah.
just
Pri-
gotta
Yeah,
go in your room.
pri-
Might not
privacy,
know like what's appropriate and what's not. And then,
Right. Yeah.
we're doing this other thing. Like if Adam's getting like frustrated or stressed, it's called safe hands. So he'll like lock his hands, and he'll be like, and he can like take his deep breaths and whatnot. And then when he knows he's calm, he can like, right, cool, like
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
chilling.
seen that. I've seen
We
that
use
on other reels too.
Yeah, we use
of
like
women shared that.
social
Yeah.
stories,
Social stories, yep.
To kind of
Yep.
explain like why what you're doing isn't appropriate.
Right. Yeah.
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 Yeah, we
Yeah.
do a lot of those. We do a lot of those social stories. They do a lot of those in school.
Yeah, and then you were talking about it the other night. And you
Yeah.
were
Wait,
talking,
that's for
it's
your
funny,
room.
'cause
Shit.
I'm talking. I was actually speaking to Jake about this earlier. It's like I don't really like talking necessarily about particulars with like Adam. I don't like sharing too much like in particulars with Adam or Haley like online, because it's like that's up to them if they like. I chose to be online, but they haven't. But it's like something that like you said the other day, total resonated with me, and you were like that you'd caused a lot of behaviors.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I've probably caused a lot of Adam's behaviors because I get like I'm definitely on the spectrum. His like one of his specialists said to me that they knew I was ADHD the first time they saw me, and then there's loads of things that have happened
Okay.
over the 11 years of Adam's life. Hey, dude, and and it wasn't until that was said I was like, oh, all this makes sense. So like I get overstimulated and I react. I'm quite reactive and he's reactive, and then it's like, oh, now I'm seeing things that he does, and I'm like, oh, that's because of me. So like over the last 4 or 5 years, I've total learned about myself, and I've total changed how I react, and I see a big change in him because of that.
Oh yeah.
He's calmed a lot.
Yeah. So when he was younger, he would have behaviors. Like I have pictures of me. He gave me he headbutted me. So I had a black lip and black eye, and because he just didn't have the words to share, but also I was heightened all the time. And even if I'm not saying anything, you can feel that. When somebody's anxious, when somebody's not okay, because you can feel that type of energy. So when I really started to change how I respond and how I navigate, it's like, I think the biggest thing for me is that if it's a no, it's a no. And I don't get nervous about saying no to him now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where it's
that's what I used to almost think oh, well, if I say no here, this is going to happen. And then I'd be
I tiptoe
"This
around it. Yeah.
things." So then I would then engineer the day to nothing to happen, which just made it worse in the long run. But now we're not like that. We haven't been like that for years, and it's the saying, to be cruel, be kind. It's you have to do it.
You have to.
Yeah. So Adam's at 11, so we probably started for the first I would say 6 or 7 years, we were just kind of mollycoddling, and I think it's probably just the circumstances, how he was born, and you just appreciate that he's here and he's happy, he's healthy.
Yes.
And so it was just almost you just wrapped him up in cotton wool, but then it's you're actually making things worse for down the line. So yeah, you should all do that.
And you overcompensate for certain things too. I've realized is that, or at least for me, relationships that I had when I was younger with my parents, it's almost in some situations I overcompensate with him, and not saying that in all of that all of that overcompensating is a bad thing. Like
Mhm.
I am very loving and very nurturing and very like, you know what I'm saying? And my parents weren't. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing, but coddling way more than I was.
Oh, you are
you know,
not the coddle parent at all.
I
Yeah, yeah.
now because I almost felt like I was like, again, like it's a disservice to
Mhm.
him. I'm a
And it
very
is, yeah.
I'm a very loving mother, but like if he is upset about something, I don't try to like take it all away.
No,
I'm
either
like,
do I now. If Adam's crying, it's like, oh, cool. Like go and have
yeah,
a cry. Like, yeah.
yeah. And like, are you okay? You know, like for instance, earlier he forgot his tablet and I was like, but I didn't grab it. He's like, well, we need to go home. And I was like, well, I'm not going home this way to turn around and go back out this way. You just don't have it. And he started to get a little bit, mommy, please, mommy, we have to. And I'm like, bud, I'm not going home. So
Yeah.
you don't have it. And he was like, why didn't you remember it? And I was like, well, I remembered your food. I remembered my stuff. And I asked you if you had your tablet and you didn't have your tablet. And so he was very upset the whole car ride. I'm like, bud, you're okay. Well, I'm still crying. It's all right. You're cool. Everything's fine. And then by like halfway through the ride, he was fine.
Yeah, they forget it.
But
Yeah.
before I would have been like, oh my God, I have to go back and I have to get it. And I can't make him have these feelings right now. But I was like, he's starting to get older. So he needs to understand that if
Yeah.
he wants something, he has to be responsible to get it and remember it. And I said, it's hard. I said, sometimes it's hard. It's hard sometimes because, and now he's starting to vocalize too. Well, mommy, I'm very distracted. I was like, I get it, bud. And it's going to take time. You know, but we do our best to focus on this task that we're trying to do right now, and then we move on to the next one.
It's really good that he's got that level of like understanding and he can communicate it to you as well.
He's starting to, yeah.
Yeah, because see when they can't, it's like that's when it's really like, but now that he's getting that, things will be like so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kenneth, we gave you like legit sausages and donut holes and shit for like 20 minutes in the beginning of the show. What are you talking about, bro?
Listen, I like to talk. we like to talk about CrossFit with Jake and Jan. You guys like the hog talk, and then I always like to talk kids with Jan and Jake. So maybe next time y'all can just
that guy's nipples that like we were talking about putting donuts on. That's that guy.
Yeah.
Here, I just want to play this for Jake and Jan will appreciate this. It is not hogs. It is
while you're pulling that up. Oh, here we go. There's Jake.
Yeah.
This is great.
Hey, it's Jeffro.
Go back and restart that.
You got to sign up for the Open next Friday. Push yourself harder than you ever thought you could. It's worth it, guys. Sign up.
His affiliate is big.
Yeah, cool.
His affiliate is amazing.
Fire. He's got a new dude too that does all his videos.
That's why we do it, man. Wake up in the morning, get the workout in. Love it.
Go to games.crossfit.com and all you have to do is
go sign up for the Open.
He's amazing.
We're super pumped.
That's amazing. Don't forget to tune in on Friday night on our Gluten Things Instagram because Garrett is going to live stream me doing the open workouts.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't doing it, or at least go back and watch it, it'll be funny.
So I mean, I'm putting myself out there, I guess, kind of like Kill Taylor. So I guess I'm expecting all sorts of shit talking she told me to be prepared.
We know a couple of guys that want to.
I tried for our channel to allow someone me to go to their affiliate and film them and then have them on, but they were like,
"Oh, that'd be cool."
Yeah, but it's someone that's like gonna go through the CrossFit season and hopefully make it to the games again. And I was like, "Oh, would you mind if I came along and like filmed you during each workout?" And they were like, "No, fuck off," basically. Oh, not in like a rude way, but they were like, "Nah, I'm way too nervous. I don't want anyone near me that day. I'm gonna go in when it's open gym and just do it myself." And I was like, "All right, cool." I was like, even if I just sat in the corner. Like, and they were like, "Nah, don't want you there." I was like, "All right, cool, no bother."
Yeah.
Because I thought that would be really cool, but nah, that was a no-go.
Yeah.
But they are coming on the podcast, though.
Oh,
That's
good.
cool.
That's
That's
good.
awesome. What
Yeah.
is Yonkers? It's a part of New York.
It is.
Younger.
Funny
Closer,
name, isn't it?
closer to Jet than it is to us by
Yeah.
far. What else? You crawled under your Gerald. Oh, is that your friend Gerald, Jake? Is that
Yeah,
who you-
Gerald. He's cool. We like Gerald.
I listened to you guys while I crawled under my
It's
house
cool.
and sawed pipes.
This photo's so unsettling, isn't it?
Is that what?
The photo's so unsettling. Pull him back up.
My tongue is sore. That can't be his real picture, right? That's got to
Yeah.
be.
That's Gerald.
Is that his real picture?
Yeah, it is
Ugh.
him.
That's
I
awesome.
was listening to him play guitar last night.
Oh, really? You're a
Mhm.
guitarist?
That's cool.
I was
That's-
giving him suggestions, and he was playing them for me.
Oh, fun. Your shadow band again, Gus. I can't imagine
Why?
what happened, dude.
Speak of the
Um,
devil.
Oh, hey,
There's
Jet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Jet. I was thinking about it because I've been doing Sentinel for a couple weeks, and I always tag Bryson and Taylor on my cool down vibe, which is me just laying on a mat, just dying
Dying.
because it fucking sucks. And Bryson
Hardcore
liked
man.
it, and then goes, I go, "This open is gonna fucking suck," and he's like, "I know," and I'm ready for it. And in my head, I was like, I don't know if I am more nervous that Jet is going to be there yelling at me and potentially could be my judge, or if I would be more nervous having Taylor or Bryson yelling at me, coaching me through the open. I don't know. I feel like they're both pretty bad.
You'll be fine. You're gonna have a great time. You won't even notice anybody yelling at you anyway.
No, I'm excited. It'll be good.
Well,
Jake, your Instagram has grown by 5 followers.
oh, look
Doubled. Doubled.
Yeah, I just went to follow it there, and I was like, oh, there we go.
100% increase.
at- you guys got anything else? Pretty good. Are you gonna try to go on tomorrow? You have your show
Yeah.
tomorrow, Outside the Box, and then when do you think the unveiling of the what is it, the bass show
Yeah.
on the
TBC.
podcast?
But I'm thinking, so Savon ideally wants it on a Sunday morning, our time,
Okay.
to hit Europe on Sunday morning live. So I'd imagine it'll be like middle of the night for you guys. So I'm thinking like 7:30 our time. So it would probably be like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I'll catch it in the morning.
Yeah.
For tea, when I have my tea and crumpets, I'll make sure I watch your.
Have you heard of pikelets?
Oh,
No.
God.
What now?
They're like
It's not-
squash puppets.
Pikelets. It's not pikelets. It's pikelets.
That's all I hear now.
Yeah, they're like really, really, really thin crumpets.
Oh, okay. Well then, fine.
Do you know Marmite? Have you heard of Marmite?
Uh-uh.
You either love it or
Oh,
hate it.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Marmite with butter on a crumpet is
I hate
somewhat
Marmite.
sexual. Oh, you're wrong.
Oh, pikelets. That's what I heard, dude.
That's what I heard.
That is exactly what I heard.
They're like really big clits.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just
Clits and things.
clits. Yeah, that's all I hear now
No.
is the word clit.
No.
Show
But it
me
was
your, show me,
It was
show
literally
me your
supposed to be
Glinton.
glit. Yeah, show me your
Yeah.
Glinton. That was amazing. I like that.
A guy, I used to sing in a band, right? And this band called Lower Than
Who's I hate?
Atlantis in England, they had a really prominent line in one of their songs that was "Show me where you piss from," and that was it was like, "Hey girls," and it was like, "Then show me where you piss from." I used to love singing that.
Do you remember that video? Me and Jon find it hilarious, and all the Americans hate it in our group. But there's this. Is it a German singer in a band? You know the one where he says, "Try to prepare."
Oh,
He says,
prepare your anus.
Prepare your anus.
Prepare your anus.
Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
I'm
song?
sure only you and Jan like that in the chat. I'm absolutely
Can I share it?
Yeah,
He's this singer on
Can I
like
share
a
it?
massive
Yeah, go
like
ahead.
festival stage, and he's singing, and all the people are like in the band, and you got all like the people on shoulders, and they're all getting ready, and he goes, "Try to prepare your anus," and everyone just goes, "Huh?" It's really weird.
Right, 2 seconds.
It's brilliant.
I'll pull
Oh,
it
Jan's
up.
gonna
Right.
find it for us.
Mm.
because I used to be safe before because Jake would send me stuff in WhatsApp and I can't pull that up on my computer, so I was always safe. Now I'm not safe because he's on.
There we go.
Here we go. We got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
We
try
good?
to relax.
I should probably-
Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders.
What? On God's green earth. If that was the first thing I heard out of a singer's mouth, like I was
Yeah.
like, I'm
You
good,
would've
I'm
left-
done,
you
I'm
would've
out.
left.
Good enough.
That's what it's like in all the clubs in Berlin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm good, dude. I'm good.
Oh man.
All right, y'all. It's been
Good.
fun. It was a fun Saturday. Nice little warm up for your show tomorrow.
This might be the
Oh.
longest we've been on, is it? Hour 45.
Yeah.
For you guys, yeah.
Hey, and this is like a year of you guys coming on the show too.
Has
think
been a
Is it?
year?
I think the
Well,
beginning.
hold on. I'll find our. I'll
I
find
think the
first
beginning
one.
of
When was-
March. Yeah,
Because I came on first, and then I said, "Oh, you should have Jake on."
yeah. And then it was just like, no, let's just have everybody on.
Mhm.
And then it was just, yeah, we've been
Gotta find the
add
first
that to
one.
the
If Jake is
Sevon
really, if
podcast
Jake is
theme
really
song.
famous, he needs to like thank me in some way publicly. I think.
Yeah.
Episode 2
He's like, oh.
was 8
Yeah.
months ago. Yep.
When I've got like over 100 listeners.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty
Huh?
cool.
So
Yeah.
the first time that we had Sev on was 10 months ago. First time that we had John on 10 months ago, Pedro on 10 months ago.
Oh, that,
And then the boys for the first time with Pool Boy were 9 months ago.
okay.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we're getting
Pool Boy-
there. We're
Pool Boy
almost
used to
there.
be on these.
So we
Yeah.
could have had a baby. by
Yeah,
now,
we could.
but we haven't
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
for a number of reasons.
Good. So many reasons.
So many. So many.
There we go. Heidi, Jake is famous. You're right. He is actually
Yeah, Jake is famous.
infamous.
You can't walk around CrossFit events anymore. It's over, Jake. You can't
Good
hide.
job I'm not going to any, isn't it?
All
Me
right,
and
guys.
Jake only started a podcast, so we didn't have to buy Rogue tickets.
Very
Oh,
much.
are you gonna get like a press pass? Hey, can you guys get press passes to shit now?
Well, hopefully.
I can't.
The
Yeah, you
only
can.
reason we started that show was so we don't have to pay £500 for our families to go to see Rogue.
Yeah.
Oh, real? How does that
It's
work?
not really.
So the
It's
goal
not
is
really.
to
But
get
no,
big enough to then get that, and then we'll quit.
Yeah. The
So-
tickets were
That's it.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was
Keep
200
dreaming,
and-
mate.
it's £270, $270 is about 240 quid, $270 per person for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
I would totally do it, Dents, if I thought I would even have a chance of getting it. But I wouldn't even do any media. I would just want to walk around the fucking media pit. Like I would just be taking pictures of media people taking pictures. Like
Yeah.
that's
But here's
So-
what me and Jon want to do. We've got a plan for when we go to Rogue. We're going to
Yeah.
go there in the media pit and just turn our backs to the floor. We just want to film the crowd.
that
And interview the crowd.
that's what I would do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
Please.
a single sausage from
Pull
the
up our
competition
channel.
floor.
That's singles.
I can't
That would
see
be
how many
awesome.
people are watching right now because this isn't our StreamYard, but
22.
all 22 of you follow our pages.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go.
Yes, absolutely.
If you
Follow
want-
that.
in October, if you want some Halloween themed Rogue media, please follow our page because
Yeah, but-
me and Jon would love to go.
I will perform the bat at Rogue.
I'll throw those again.
When you
one more
stretch out
time.
your nutsack, so it looks like a bat skin.
There you go. Outside the box.
Oh, look
Go
at
give
that.
me a follow.
58. See if we're not by 60 by the time this finishes. I'm never coming on here again.
Oh, listen, all right. Calm
When we've
down over
got
there.
easy heights of
You know
6.
how long it
Fucking
took
hit
me to get
refresh. If it's not
58
hit refresh, if
subscribers?
it's not 60, I'm not fucking coming back.
Okay, you diva. Like how long? It took us forever.
And we have been sitting at 9:31, 2-ish
Oh,
since
that
Kill Taylor.
thousand.
Since the
When
Kill
can
Taylor.
you, it's 500 until you can get paid comments, isn't it?
Yeah, then you can get paid comments, and it's 1,000 until when you can
You can,
actually
like,
start
monetize.
turning on the monetization stuff. So
Mhm.
Can't you just buy 100 followers?
I know.
Ca- no, Hiller would call us out. You know that, right? He'd be like,
And-
"How the fuck did you get 70 followers in a day? You haven't, and you weren't on like
Yep.
anybody else's."
Yep.
Jake, I'm gonna buy us 10,000, and then Hiller will make a videos about us that'll just blow the channel up even further.
There you go.
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
actually not gonna do that. I'm too cheap to do that.
Okay, now you said that, when we do get our 10,000 followers, next week,
Well, they'll be organic.
oh, that fucking word, organic. Christ almighty. Organic growth. Fuck off. Oh, so annoying.
What's worse? What's worse, organic or authentic?
Oh, but do you
know
know what?
you don't like that term either.
Okay, here's the fucking
Organic rant?
worst one.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
Vindicate,
like,
because it's
I'm
so
just-
new. You
I just
actually
want
have.
to be
go on our
best.
Instagram and hit the link in the bio.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Here,
that's
here
it.
it is. Ready?
Oh.
I just want to be the best version of myself.
Same here.
Gay.
So do I.
If anyone
So
ever
gay.
says that in the
Oh, so you
gym,
don't-
I
authentic,
walk away.
authentically you,
Authentically you.
unapologetically you.
Oh,
I think
God.
Jake,
Oh,
I actually think I said that I wanted to be the best version of myself in a Instagram video this week.
Yeah.
That's it. The relationship's over.
Yeah, they broke up
Yeah.
now.
That's it.
But that's
58
the
subscribers.
coaching business head.
All right, go to
Oh,
this
it's
and
just-
then
it's
hit
just-
the link in the description. It takes you right to their show.
Mhm.
Go do
And
that.
what's that
You know-
word people have been saying about love language, or like
Oh, come on. You
affirmations?
can't
or-
take love language away.
No, or like affirmate. There's this fucking phrase that people saying about like they just bloody love being told they're amazing. And I can't remember what it was. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Is it affirmations?
I don't know.
Affirmations I get.
I don't
It's
use
something like
affirmations.
that where people just say you like getting compliments. That's what you're saying, but you don't want to say I like compliments.
Oh,
Gross.
thanks, Kenneth. There's the
I
link.
think
The link's in the chat.
Everybody probably likes receiving compliments, but just some people are probably not
Oh,
very
hey,
good.
CK.
No.
What's up, dude?
No,
Receiving them.
wrong.
Tell
Yeah,
Wifey I
right.
said hi.
Wrong?
You know, I
I
think
don't
for
like
some
receiving
people,
compliments.
yeah, you find it difficult to receive it.
Isn't that
But
just
it
dudes,
is-
though?
It is, it is
That's
nice
just dude
knowing
thing.
that people think nice things about you.
That's
Summer
it.
Vine.
Summer Vine said it.
Yeah, words
Words
of
of
affirmation.
affirmation.
Oh yeah. You said
You don't want to tell yourself you're gonna have a great day and all the love is
No.
gonna come to you.
No. I get out of bed, I have a coffee, I have a look at my diary, and I go to work. That's all I need.
Do you not lie in bed at night worrying about what you've got to do the next day like I do?
Who, me?
Anyone? No.
No, I'm out. Good night. As soon as
Last
my
of the
head
summer
hits the
wine.
pillow.
There we go. That was
That's
a show in the UK.
Did
Oh,
you?
okay.
Did you? I know you two want to get off, so to speak.
we're
do you
fine.
want to?
Damn. I mean,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm trying
you.
to get this to 2 hours.
I was gonna
Right.
say,
Oh, yeah.
Jake, it wants to get. There's
That's
8 more
fine.
minutes,
Go, dude.
7
Go,
more
go,
minutes
go.
left.
That's fine.
Like,
We'll chit chat, hang out.
the baby's
It's-
fine. He got snacks.
Yeah, he got snacks.
He's good.
Did you have something like some TV, like telly, on a Sunday night that
Oh,
now reminds you of having to panic and do your homework for Monday morning?
I think that's why Gerald put this comment in.
Yeah. Right. So in the UK, we only had 4 channels basically up until about 1997, right? So telly channels. Only the posh people had cable and Sky. So on those 4 channels on a Sunday, you had Antiques Roadshow, which was where, I don't know if you've heard of that or seen it.
we have
But
one
there's like
kind
this-
of like it.
Yeah, so we had Antiques Roadshow, you had Songs of Praise.
Noodles is here.
Oh,
Noodle,
your man. Yeah.
Jesus.
What's up, Noodles?
I'm sitting in my car holding it. Well, don't keep it in your hands, mate. You need to put that down. Throw it out the window, boy.
For the last 7 minutes, can we send him a link? Let's get him in.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we had Songs of Praise. We had Athletes Roadshow, Antiques Roadshow. That could be a piece, Jon. Athletes Roadshow. Anyway, Last of the Summer Wine, which was this basically about these 3 octogenarians walking around a sleepy village in the north of England. And
One
it was
was
like
an alcoholic.
it was like a comedy thing. And Lovejoy. So did you watch that Gods of America? Was it Gods of America? There was this series a few years about it. It was like what was it?
I haven't watched
called?
anything. I'm just now catching up on Ozark. That show is fucking amazing. I'm
But
just now.
Steven- Sorry. When you go.
Okay, bye guys.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up? There you
The man,
go.
the myth, the legend.
I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna sit back. You guys go ahead.
David.
Yeah.
Is Cassandra pregnant?
All right. So I don't think so. So supposedly she's got. I mean, I don't want to ruin the show. But supposedly she's got AIDS now. I gave it to her. I got her pregnant. I've destroyed her life. There's clothes missing from my house, dude. It's
Are you
so
not
bad.
together? Did you break up?
Yeah, were you,
I
you
do not
called
pick up
in
the phone
Evie the
anymore,
other night.
I do not pick up the phone. It's so bad.
No.
dude. Yeah.
So do you know you gave her AIDS?
No, so here's the thing. Like these people in this Discord were like, oh, he sleeps with transvestites, he gets hookers. So they convinced her that I gave her AIDS. So I went out, I got blood work done, all this stuff. It takes it takes a while for it to come back. And
AIDS?
Yeah, for the AIDS test. Well, I got a full STD panel done.
I don't think that comes back.
No, he's saying the blood work for the test. Let him tell a story, Jake.
Yeah.
Right. So the blood work, yeah.
But it's such a nightmare, and I'm just done, man. I'm 45 years old. I tried again, dude. I'm done. I don't know what's wrong with these women. They're like all crazy. A lot of them are crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I work 5 days a week. I do YouTube. Like I have my own thing going on. I don't know.
Do you think they're with you for the fame?
Her?
Yeah, her.
No, she's mentally ill.
How old is she?
She's first when I met her, she was 23. Now she's 24. She'll be possibly 26 now. I don't know.
So I feel like we're kind of raking up our ground here, and it's a touchy subject. Yeah. One person that I would like to see more of, David, if you don't mind me calling you David,
your housemate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is your housemate, but also Michelle. We haven't seen Michelle for a little while. I certainly haven't.
So I was there last night. We drove out to Winsted, Connecticut. I did American Truck Simulator with her. We went out. We did a live stream, everything.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Do you know the difficult thing is we're across the ocean, so some of your shows are like the middle of the night for us, so we don't get to see them. But that's probably one of them. I'll have to go back and watch it.
I certainly do lie in my bed at like 2 a.m. watching you sometimes when I'm awake.
Well, I have to watch out now because
somebody gifted me someone gifted me a membership on your page. It was excellent.
Yeah, we try to give out as many memberships as possible. It's just that now I got to watch out because within the United States, we have freedom of speech, but if you cause alarm in public, it's a big no-no. And now that the sub count went up, if I ever go to court over this, they're going to be like, "Oh, you're an influencer. You're trying to cause a problem." So I got to watch out.
Yeah,
now.
you've got a big following.
Yeah, it was awesome because I was going out in public. I was doing the whole Trump stuff. I was going like New York City doing all this stuff, but I don't know, man. It's getting kind of dangerous. I have a court case coming up in a few weeks, and people are suing me all the time.
What for?
Yeah. What's your court case for, if you don't mind us asking?
I was a witness to something that happened, and it's all YouTube crap. I was a witness for something. And I got to travel to another 3 hours away for something. It's just so stupid. I'm not even allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
No. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. I'd rather do podcasts and stuff like that. It seems like it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
You guys do a very good job.
Why don't you start a podcast? Because you were going to. Was it not the David Boldo show you were going to start?
Yeah. So I was gonna do that, but I can't get anyone to do it with, and plus I don't have the equipment. I do everything off my phone. So
Yeah.
I'm broke.
There's
I'm
a
broke
guy-
as a joke, man.
There's a guy called Chris that we know that he's just set up a show called the Another Realm podcast or Another Realm show. You would get, honestly, I'm not kidding
You
here.
as a guest,
That
just-
might actually be fun for you,
You
Noodles.
two are
like,
made for each other.
seriously.
He's got everything set up. He's not
Yeah.
based near you, but he's got the whole shebang. He's got the back end all sorted. He's got a lovely back end, David. I can tell you. He's
He's a beautiful man.
he
is
doesn't
a
work
beautiful man.
anymore. He's retired, so he's I think he's 72 years old, but he's got a really
You
good.
might
sense of
actually
humour.
have a fun fucking conversation with this dude.
I
That's
probably
no
would
lie.
David.
Hook me up. I don't know. I'll do it.
If you look
Got
up
it, you
Another
got-
Realm show or Another Realm podcast on YouTube,
Yeah, Chris's show is
I think
great.
he does probably 83 or 84 shows a day, so you won't miss it. If you go on, you'll catch him live.
Yeah.
It nearly as many as you. I think
Let me
you
pull
two
it.
linking up would be fucking massive. Like you two
All right,
would get on
I'm
like a
down.
house on
The
fire.
other,
And
what
you-
is it called? The Other Side Podcast?
Yeah, I'm
Another
pulling, I'm
realm.
gonna, I'll
Another
present
realm.
it.
Other
I'll
Realm.
present-
All right.
Realm,
Yeah,
not
hold
realm.
on.
It's not a tree show. He's
Jake
only
and
done
I-
a few shows about trees.
Yeah, go over
Um,
and give Chris some love. He
There he is.
he's fun. He's a cool dude.
He's a tennis coach.
He's very, very funny.
Rumble. You on Rumble.
Do you?
So, David, he used to be an adult film star.
Yeah, I can tell. He kind of looks like he's got a big dick. I'll be
He
honest with
has.
you.
He has. We've seen it many
Yeah.
times.
The story of this week from one of my clients.
Got it. Do you text with Noodles or is it via email?
Who? Me?
Do you text David or is it via email?
Oh.
Whatever you guys want. Whatever you guys feel comfortable with. Any more
I've
welcome to email me,
if
text me.
Garrett's got your information, she can send my number to you and we'll hook you up.
All right, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We'll get you in.
I'm down. You
Yes.
guys have been.
I'll
I want
invite
to
you
say
in our
something.
WhatsApp group.
I want to say something while I'm up here. You guys have been very, very good to me, and I
Go for it.
I love you.
We love
Yeah,
you, Noodles.
Oh, fucking mate, I
You're
love
the man,
you.
dude. Hanging out, chilling. We're just wrapping up. It was funny that you're the sorry, Gus, can't find his flat earth rant. I'll try to find it for next time.
It was on Thursday's show and it was brilliant.
I don't think he put it on Instagram though, did he?
No, it's just in the YouTube.
It's just in
on
the YouTube.
And it's too long. You couldn't play it on
Yeah,
this.
I'll try to find it.
David, he's a lot like you. He's very, very intelligent, very switched
Mm.
on. He's a man of the people. He's got a lot to say, but he's a very good listener, and he's a good guy. So I think you two could have so much to talk about.
I can't wait. I can't.
And I think it'd be awesome.
It's gonna be
That'd be
awesome. All right,
fun.
awesome. Listen, guys,
All right,
it was
dude.
good seeing you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks for coming
much.
to hang out.
Love
Prove you're
you.
real.
Nice one,
Love you,
Noodles.
dude.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Hi for now.
All right, you got your wish, Jake and Jan. There you go.
I love that.
That was his.
He's real.
His lives are like
That's
they're-
not true, Travis. You've definitely been on this show.
So-
More
Matt,
you've
David
been on
has-
this
David has
Difference
been on
being-
more than Travis for days.
Difference
he's-
being, Travis,
Well,
I
he's
haven't watched
on the show
you.
twice.
Yeah. But Travis, when was the last time you streamed yourself live having a shower?
And the shit.
And a shower?
'Cause
When
he did a
you've done
shit
that-
first, and then he showered.
Then
That
we're
was a
talking.
brilliant one. Honestly, his live YouTubes are fascinating. Like sometimes
They're wild.
I'll get up in the middle of the night and I'll like go to the toilet for a pee, and I'm sitting down peeing in the dark, and I'll pull my phone
Yeah.
up, 'cause what the time is, and I'll be like, "Oh, Noodles is live," and then I'll just lie in bed for like half an hour watching him.
Travis, you've been on 3 times, right? And Noodles has literally physically been on the show twice, but you've been on for way longer than he has. He's only been on the show for like 5 minutes at a pop. No, dude, you're still you're.
What Travis is saying is he wants to come back on the
You
show.
can come back on the show to mess with me when Colleen's doing the open. That'd be amazing.
I would
Do that
love
one.
David to have us like like an episode where you just like proper just get into it with him. You guys could interview him really well, I think.
Yeah.
Who? Sorry, say again. I got lost.
I call him David at Noodles.
Oh, to like sit down long form.
Yeah. That's a job for you two.
Lord.
I know me and
I've
Jake
been
are outside
before.
the box, but he's not a specialist in any of the areas that we're looking for.
I mean, he might be a specialist. Just I don't know if it's
Yeah.
like that type of specialist. You want.
Otherwise, I would love to. I'll come on here and chat to him for an hour.
And before I forget, both of you, I've got someone that I think an actual person that I think you'd quite
Oh yeah, we were speaking
do well
about
on
that,
for,
yeah.
to get on the show, but I'll tell you about it after.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, Vindicate. I'll DM you, dude. Anybody, if any of you guys want a link to come on and mess with Colleen after, like, when we actually have the filming all done and we're gonna fuck around on air, like, just whatever. Daniel Garrity, dude, you're fun in the chat too, bro. Noodles has been on this show every time I've
another
watched.
man
Oh,
that's 72 years old.
that's a good time though. That's a good time.
Daniel is Noodles.
Daniel is Noodles. All right, cool guys. We'll catch up with you. We'll definitely see you before the open, pre-open, and then post-open for, Colleen's little talking. All right, guys. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.
Bye bye.